Greetings and welcome, everyone. It's All You Can Geek Moviecast, episode 451. I'm one of your hosts, Jim Gast, joined by Corey Feinsod.
Boom.
And Tony Korkanakis.
Yo!
What's up, guys? Welcome, listeners and viewers, to 451 of the Moviecast. I am sorry, I'm getting a flash alert over my computer right now that Hangouts on Air is going away later this year.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So this is
changes will be happening.
Yes. As you noticed last week, our broadcast was brought to you by Skype, which actually I thought ran pretty well. I got to give Microsoft some props. They did some updates, performance-wise. But yeah, so there'll be some changes going on here. But anyways, for now, we're on here. And welcome to 451 of the Moviecast. We have a topic tonight. We're going to do our hype for the remainder of the year movies. I have a couple of hyped up movies. I don't think I actually have I did have a 7. Okay. Yes, I did give it a 7. There's actually games next time. It's going to be an interesting discussion for next year for me. But anyways, movies now. We'll get into that in a little bit. But first, let's go. Let's kick it off with what we've been up to, and then get into the box office. I got to watch more Good Omens today. I like it. It's a fun show. Listen, Martin Sheen, I think, is that his name? Michael Sheen? Yeah, I knew it's not Martin Sheen.
I was like, Martin Sheen.
Isn't that Emilio and
Emilio? And, yeah, so probably, yeah. Michael Sheen. Basically, I like his character in this as the angel. A good buddy, almost like a buddy cop comedy with like, but they're not supposed to be friends, but they are, and they just keep it a secret between everybody else. Yeah. So I really enjoying the show. I'm done with episode 3 now, and it's a lot of fun. I'm not sure. I'm trying to think of what else I watched. I don't think I watched much else because it was a busy weekend with cookouts and birthdays. My family's run of birthdays. It's every day. So it's like I don't think I watched much. Now tomorrow I have tickets. Finally going to see John Wick 3. Can't wait to talk about that next week. So I have my ticket purchased already, and I'll be doing that. So, and I'll be seeing some other stuff because I'm finally on I'm on vacation.
Well, I would recommend not going to see Dark Phoenix.
Oh no, it won't be one. I'll probably see Aladdin, and I'm going to see John Wick tomorrow, and I probably try to catch something new like Toy Story 4. I'll probably see Toy Story 4.
Or Men in Black.
Men in Black is an option too. I could probably get all 4 in actually in the next 2 weeks because I want to play a couple like some video games and stuff, but. I do want to see some movies. Like I'm trying not to overload myself and just do nothing because that always.
This is like supposed to be the summer season right now, right? Like we're supposed to be in it, but it doesn't feel like it.
No, it doesn't. It feels very lulled, doesn't it?
I know. It's like June's almost over. It's like, oh wait,
Yeah,
because like you had the high of Endgame, and then just like,
meh.
Like the problem was, it's not like these movies are terrible. The ones like Aladdin and stuff, but like must see movies after Endgame.
Right.
You're like,
there's definitely been like a lull.
And,
nothing's really lived up to that summer blockbuster other than the Avengers, obviously.
Yeah.
I mean, John Wick is amazing, and
I'm looking forward to seeing that. I'm sure I'm going to love that. So, Corey, what have you been up to?
Well, actually, it's not much really as well. I've been on like a UFC kick for some reason, and like they have this
unintended,
like 25
unintended. I had to put the beer down quick on that one. Get that fun out there. Go on.
And they have like their 25th year anniversary stuff going on, and they actually have this YouTube channel where they're putting like these mini documentaries out for like that are like 15 to 20 minutes. So like they're real quick, so you can get through like a couple of them pretty quickly, and a couple of them are pretty neat. Some of them kind of focus on the fighters. Some of them focus on, what led up to UFC or different things. And one of them was about Dana White and the two, basically the money guys who backed the UFC. And, I don't know if you know, but the UFC wasn't like Dana White came in fairly late, like UFC 20 something. And he and these other two guys bought UFC for like $4 million.
I did not know that actually.
So something
seems
like that.
Really cheap.
Yeah, well, because it was dead. It was just bleeding money, and once they bought it for like 2 years or something, like they've already they've lost like $44 million at that point. And the one guy's like, "I'm ready to get out. Like this, how much can we sell this for?" And so Dana White's like, "Well, we may be able to get 8." He's like, "Well, fuck it, let's just keep going then." So they go for it, and like just like a couple of years ago, they sold it for $4 billion or something like that. Some crazy.
It's a good return on investment.
Yeah. So it was a pretty neat story to see that, and it's cool to see a little behind the scenes stuff on it, and some of the fighters and things. It's weird because I used to be really into the UFC and like it was huge, but now it is so like huge that it's almost like kind of like just there, all the time. It's not like this huge event anymore. Where it's like before it kind of felt like these events, but now it's just like, oh, it's another boxing match or something. But yeah, they had some pretty neat documentaries. I recommend a few, like just checking out their YouTube channel and seeing like their little 25-year anniversary documentaries that they have.
Yeah, no, it's cool.
Yeah, that's pretty neat.
Yeah. All right. Anything else?
No, not too much else.
All right, Tony.
Let's see. So I've been injured for the past week, and I was on call last week too, and that's why I wasn't on the Moviecast last week. So I pretty much stayed grounded in my apartment, literally and figuratively speaking. So in the downtime, I managed to binge watch this anime called Hunter x Hunter.
Okay.
If you guys heard of that? Or...
Yeah, I've heard of that actually.
I've watched it.
Oh, you've watched it?
Yeah.
The original or the newer one?
All of it.
Oh, you did? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like, I don't know what it is, but like this anime like, totally just hooked me because I was like,
no, I mean, I think because Netflix had up to like 120, or 130, something like that, and so then I'm like, well, where's the rest?
I gotta find more. Yeah,
and then like Hulu had some more, and so like then I had to start going to like websites to get it.
Crunchyroll has all of it at this point, so that's
okay.
What I watched it on. But this anime totally hooked the hell out of me because I was like, I've heard a couple of my convention, cosplay friends are, they're like, oh, this is really good and check it out sometime. I was like, okay, yeah. And they're like, oh, it's a shonen. I'm like, like after Naruto, just like,
right.
And like My Hero Academia was like the only one that like really spoke to me. I was like, whatever, I'll give this a shot. And it's just so awesome. It really is. Because the main character is like this 12-year-old boy and he wants to be a hunter. And in the world, like hunters are just like these renowned professional expert hunters that either hunt like monsters or treasures or undiscovered locations, ruins, etc., etc.
You get like a license and like you show that and you're just like
yeah, exactly. But like you could flash this badge and like you're just set. Like you gain access to like all these countries, like buildings and you're just set. But the thing, so part of the premise is, so he wants to do it because he's chasing after his dad because it's stereotypical anime fashion.
Nope.
His dad is missing. Surprise, surprise. Happy Father's Day. It's not around. So he knows that his dad became a hunter at his age. So he's like, well, I want to become a hunter and hunt for my dad so I can find him and talk to him. It's like, okay, so that's it. And he sets off on his journey. And along the way, he meets up with these other people that wind up being his friends. And it's like, stereotypical like shonen anime where it's like, okay, like these are the characters, they have special abilities, but it's like really cool. And like, I guess the best way I could describe it, because I was just telling one of my friends, I was like, imagine if you had like Naruto and Sasuke, but instead of like this terrible, unhealthy, overly competitive, toxic relationship, they were actually friends and supporting each other's growth and potential and all that stuff. Because that's what the series is. Because like the two main characters are just like, they're like helping each other out and they're being bros and stuff like that. And they're growing and learning together. And the other cool thing is like, there's like some power mechanics behind it. But it's a bit more grounded. It never gets into like Dragon Ball Z or like even like late Naruto levels where just like strategy actually takes a huge aspect in the series. Cause like there are characters who are not as strong as the other characters, but because they have a better strategy or whatever, like they're able to conquer their opponents and stuff like that. So it's just really awesome. The arcs are just so cool. Like every arc, I was like, man, this is so awesome. How the heck are they going to top this? And they do it every time. I'm like,
I love the video game arc.
The video game arc. I was like when they're like that, I was like, oh no, because I was like kind of like I'm down on that genre ever since Sword Art Online. But this is like
it was cool,
blown away. I was like, holy shit!
Because like because I've watched this a while ago, and I love the first arc, which is just him training and like going on to get his license. Like get his license to become a hunter was really cool because I like that. Like you gotta do these challenges and it's like this race with all these other people and like you have to deal with them and then also try to accomplish these different tasks that are thrown at you. And even the teachers are really cool, like the hunters that are given this, like they have neat characteristics and stuff. But I was like, oh, that's so good. Like I like that kind of tournament style thing. And then they do the video game one, and I was like, "Oh man, this is cool!" And like, also have the tower where you're in the
Heavens Arena or whatever.
Exactly.
Like
I was like, "Oh, this is really cool." Is that So, how far have you gotten?
Oh, I'm finished.
Oh,
wow, you finished it. How many episodes are there?
133, I want to say, something around that.
Okay. I think this is
Was there? I thought
much
there
more
was
watchable.
more.
See what happened with me with like
Oh,
Naruto?
maybe it's 150, something like that. I got it.
Okay. Naruto got way too much for me. I don't know why.
Yeah.
I got smothered in getting behind in Naruto and never got back.
Jim, you have no idea. Like,
And
it's
some
at
of
the
the
point.
Yeah.
Oh, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say some of the characters like are really weird, but then like you like don't really like them, but then later on they can become like, whoa, this guy is actually pretty cool, and it's like,
Yeah.
oh man, this is this guy came around.
Yeah, like the first character that you meet that you think is like the villain. He's like one of my favorite characters now because it's
Joker,
just like so
whatever.
Yeah, Hisoka. Because like he appears as like a clown and he uses like magic tricks to deceive his opponents and stuff like that. And he's just such a badass. I mean, he's a psychotic murdering asshole, but like he's so likable in that position, which is really weird because you're like, yeah, he just killed that dude, but you know what? That was awesome. So I'm not gonna I can't hold the
Yeah, and I do like the just like the power ups that they do. It's like it's just like he needs that extra power. He's like he digs deep, and then you feel like you're feeling this guy's like pulling like all the stops and stuff. And of course, they always have to have like the guy that tops the other guy that tops the other guy, like the villain. And then it's like, well, actually, he does top the other guy. It's pretty cool.
Yeah,
and some of the villains. The family, his best friend's family is pretty cool too.
The Zydek family, oh my god, they're so badass. I was like, holy shit! Like when the dad and the granddad showed up, I was like, oh fuck! Like this is getting serious right now.
Yeah.
Like, it's so cool. And the other thing is like, there's this one villain where like immediately as soon as you're introduced to him, it's just like, nope, like fuck this guy. He's pure evil. Fuck him. Fuck his lineage, fuck his ancestors, fuck his family, his friends, anybody that ever like helped him in any way, shape, or form. Like fuck this guy. And, like by the end of that arc, I was getting emotional over him. And I'm like, why? Why am I feeling this way? Because it's just like, like.
Is that the guy that plays the chess or whatever?
Yeah. I was like, no, I didn't want to feel anything towards you, asshole.
Yeah.
God, yeah. But I can't talk.
That was a cool sequence too, with like it was like the fireflies or something. Like I can't. It's been a while. Like, and there's like,
yeah, dude, it's so good. And like
now that you're talking about it, it makes me want to go back and like watch a few of these arcs. They're so cool.
So I mean, part of it, what I did is just because like it's so long. I kind of like what you guys recommended me to do with podcasts. I watch it in 1.5x speed now.
Oh.
Yeah.
And so unless it's like a super emotional or like super pay attention scene, like I'm just like go through it and it's just like I can't watch. Like it's hard for me to watch anime normally now because I'm just I'm like it's so slow. I'm like I'm like God, like just go faster right now. So it helped me burn through that. But it's honestly so enjoyable. And the thing that upsets me is the author of this, the creator, because he also did that series Yu Yu Hakusho. That was one of his older series. I think he did this, but unfortunately, due to his health issues, so the newest anime ended 5 years ago. And at the point where that covers in the manga, since it ended, he's only gotten 50 more chapters out of the way. So that's why the anime stopped because they didn't have any more material. And then we're gonna do like Full Metal Alchemist, where they're just like, oh, we'll just make up our own ending or anything like that. They're just like, we're just gonna stop it. So I'm like super sad because I only have 50 chapters to read because I'm gonna read the manga now, obviously. And it's just like, oh man, like I berserked myself or Martin myself again, where it's just like. The series might never get finished, and it's so upsetting that may happen because I'm just like, damn, why did I do this to myself again? I literally, like, Game of Thrones is over, regardless of my feelings. Like, I know how it ends. That's fine. And like with this, I'm just.
There was 148 episodes in the new series.
Okay, yeah.
All right.
So it's so good. Highly recommended.
Cool.
Some of the best characters, but yeah.
All right, let's get into the box office real quick. This is a little box office this week.
I was completely wrong on Men in Black. I thought Men in Black would do a lot better last week. I claimed it would do like double what it did.
I thought 50 to 60, but yeah, opened at 30 million.
I thought it would do better too. This is really bad.
It's a bad week. I mean, it's a bad week for game.
People are talking about the fatigue of Men in Black, but like, when was the last Men in Black movie that came out? Like
10 years?
Yeah, a while back.
And the stars are fresh. I mean, Tessa Thompson's popular and Chris Hemsworth's pop. I mean, they're coming right off from Avengers.
I think it's because it's a new cast. It's almost like people still have Will Smith out there, and I think that's really what it was. But all right, so that's one at 30 million. Secret Life of Pets 2 was at 24.4. Aladdin at 17.4, Rocket Man and Dark Phoenix, who Man,
Dark Phoenix just gets everything it deserves right now.
yeah,
Fuck that
Tony,
movie.
you missed
Okay.
the podcast.
I gotta listen to that rant.
Our title is
I saw it.
yeah, it's very telling of what Corey said about
No,
Dark
I mean just like because you weren't there to like, I would rather watch X-Men Origins Wolverine just because I can laugh at that and also have Wolverine in this movie where like Dark Phoenix out Wolverine. It's like, what are you doing? Like number one, and then number two is like you have a character titled, the title of the movie is Dark Phoenix, and you don't do anything with this character in this movie.
Yeah,
it's so bad.
I don't know, but
I mean,
I saw like people like starting to rank all the X-Men movies now because like they're all out essentially. Like, oh, let's rank them all and stuff. I'm like, what? Why is Dark Phoenix not listed yet? Like, it's like IGN did their list, and like I think Origins was first, and then Last Stand, and then like it went through like Apocalypse and stuff. I'm like, oh, I would watch all these movies before Dark Phoenix again. so bad.
Wow. Yeah, I won't be seeing this in the theaters without a doubt.
No.
So
not even with A-list, it's not even worth
no.
the time.
No, I won't waste my time. That's really what's
that's what it is. It's like it's a waste of time. Like
opening,
Godzilla, go see Godzilla.
Yeah, I will see that at some point. Toy Story 4 opens this week. That's the big one. And Child's Play.
Well, I heard Toy Story does not have like an opening short.
First time.
28 years.
Yep, first time. Yep.
What?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
What the fuck?
I was reading that today. Yeah, I don't know. I saw that Spider-Man was tracking for 150 to 160 million over the 6 day. So, which it's not huge, but that's pretty good for. I guess that's like the biggest opening for Spider-Man. So
I thought
that would
Spider-Man 3 did like 150.
151. It's got to beat that. So let's see what it does.
It will. It definitely will.
Yeah.
I think already. I mean, nobody like they're just waiting for that movie to like pop.
Yeah, I think. Yeah, absolutely. All right, let's get into some news here. Couple things, not much yet. Just for me, Ghostbusters 3, obviously we know it's getting rebooted. The recasting everybody. Dan Aykroyd's back. Bill Murray's back.
Recasting as in bringing old people back.
Yes. And
not
Annie
recasting
Potts,
the characters themselves.
Annie Potts is coming back as Janine. So we get them back as their original, as their characters.
Rick Moranis, where's he at?
I hope it would be cool to get Rick Moranis out of retirement.
He's retired, I heard. So
yeah, he won't act anymore. He won't. And the only other really bit of news we have is like Bill and Ted's 3 began filming finally, which is another old school. Like, wow, I can't believe this is happening.
I mean, they're at the moment. Keanu Reeves can do no wrong. So
yeah, I think this is cashing in big time and good timing for him for this movie. He's like the golden child. Did you guys see like there's people petitioning to have him as Man of the Year in Time? Okay. I was like, wow. So he's having himself a year, that's for certain. Yeah. And that's really it. I mean, that's really it for news on this week. So let's do it. Like we got a topic tonight about our hype for the rest of the year for movies. And I wanted to get into that and really break this down. I do need to open it before I do that. So give me a minute here. I think I had it open, but I have too many tabs going apparently. Here we go. Okay. So are these in release date order? They are. Okay. So we have next week. We get this in at least. Next week we have starting off. We have Child's Play and Toy Story 4 opening. So I'll kick us off with Child's Play. I gave it a 1. I did not give it a 0 because I am interested in.
Give it a 1 as well.
Yeah. Tony.
Yep, 1 as well.
Yeah. I don't. No, I won't give it a 0. Mark Hamill's doing the voice, I think, of Chucky, right? So I think that's pretty awesome. Mark Hamill fan for me. I kind of want to see that for that. But this is not a movie I will see in the theaters, though. I'll see it at home, I'm sure, when it comes out. So, but I gave it a 1. We don't have Mike, unfortunately, so don't have his ratings. Toy Story 4, I gave it 2.
This one's tough for me because I love Toy Story so much, and I could always use more Toy Story. So I'm gonna give it a 3.
Yep, I'm giving it a 3 as well. I'm kind of down on the whole premise because I think 3 really wrapped it up, and just from what I've seen of the teasers and commercials, 4 looks like it's just repeating like multiple different things that the series has done already. So I'm just like, yeah. But you know what?
Since 2 and 3 are repeating each other a lot too.
I know, but you know what? Sometimes comfort food is good. So.
All right. I gave it a 2 at least. I was not too harsh on it. I mean,
why you give it a 2? Just because it's too familiar? It's like run its course.
Well, because I mean, I wasn't the biggest fan of 3 because I thought it was too much like 2. So I'm never gonna. I won't give it over.
I cried like a baby in 3.
It was between a 1 and a 2 for me on this, honestly. So giving it a 2 is pretty good for it. Far From Home is after that. That comes out July 2nd. I have my tickets for this already. I'm psyched. I'll be seeing it during the day. I'm going to a 4:00 showing on Wednesday of that week.
Nice.
So, yeah. What do you guys got here, Corey?
I'm gonna give it a 5.
Oh.
I'm saving my 7.
I give it a 7.
We should probably let people know how this works too, right?
Jesus. For those who didn't watch last week, we have a point system here. So it's 1 through 5. We are allowed to give one big 0 and one big 7. That's it. So if you really love this, you can give it a 7. Now, I used my 7 on this movie. This is my movie for the rest of the year that I'm most excited about, actually.
Yep.
Same for Tony. There we go. So yeah, I'm just like, the first movie past Endgame, that's post Endgame. I'm interested to see how they do the fallout in this movie. Very interested for all of this, and it's Spider-Man. And for me, like, I feel like the first movie,
Spider-Man.
well, I'm obviously a huge Spider-Man fan, and I was questionable myself, and I'll be fully admitting of this that I was very questionable of that first movie, as Tony will never let me hear the end of it. But
I haven't said anything. I'm
just doing it before we get there. But I fully admit the fact that I was questionable on that movie, and I was wrong. And I love that movie, and I think he is the best Spider-Man we have seen. And what you do in a first movie can be enhanced. And like, I loved Spider-Man 2. And obviously there was faults
that's
with that.
The best Spider-Man movie besides, this
yeah.
Tom Holland, right?
So I think that helps me hype it more, and because of that, like, because it's like, it's the second one, so they don't have to settle, like, there's nothing they have to worry about the past. I mean, obviously they have Endgame to have to deal with, but they don't, they can just hit the ground running in this movie and it should be hopefully lots of fun and action packed. But Tony, why'd you give it a 7?
Yeah, I mean, first of all, coming off the Endgame hype, so it's setting up the next couple. I'm sure in this one we're going to get teases on the direction of the MCU.
I think so. Yeah.
Plus, I love Tom Holland as an actor. I think, like you said, he's ever since my witness of him in Civil War, I thought he was like the best Spider-Man ever. Both and Peter Parker. So I was like all about him. In a way, I view him like as an adopted son kind of thing, where it's like do good in this world and stuff like that. So yeah, I'm all about it, and just riding that Spider-Man high, because I think we talk about it though. It's like the past year or so has been the year of Spider-Man. Really, like we had the amazing game on Sony PlayStation 4. We had the incredible Spider-Man Enter the Spider-Verse. Awesome Infinity War and Endgame, and then now this. So just like it's awesome time to be a Spider-Man fan.
Yeah. I mean, I got my Spider-Man shirt on right now.
Yeah, I thought I noticed that.
Yeah. I gave it a 5 because I do have something that I'm looking forward to a little more.
Okay.
I am really looking forward to this for the same kind of reasons that you guys already said. The whole Endgame. This is like the epilogue to the Endgame, and to see what happens. The thing I didn't like the trailers, and I didn't like the fact that they're bringing them on this like field trip. It just felt so like straight to video concept, like, let's take a movie that was great and then it's a high school film, so guess we'll put them on like a school trip, we'll do that. It seemed really weird, and I understand they want to kind of take them around the world a little bit, but I didn't like. I wanted to see him in New York again a little bit more.
Yeah.
But I'm not judging the movie yet on just that. I just I want to see it and see the full story here. But again, the trailers didn't hype me up as much as I would have thought they would, considering it's the sequel to Spider-Man: Homecoming.
Okay. Yeah, and part of that, I agree with you on that one. In that the trailers I think are being kind of safe, and part of me thinks is that they really want to hold back a lot of the stuff that is going to.
Absolutely, and that's why I'm not going to judge. And we all got a lot more once Endgame came out.
That's the thing. Like, that was the thing. Like, they obviously are holding back tidbits of story because they're based so much into Endgame, and they didn't want to spoil that. So even when I was watching the trailer yesterday, I'm like, they mentioned Iron Man in the trailer. I'm like, is that okay to mention at this point? So it's just weird. So yes, that does hurt that. But the thing they're building off of, and this is good for them, is they're in the Marvel universe and they have the Endgame, what do you call it? Tie-in, like have that Endgame, like the Endgame crowd is waiting for more. So I think that's gonna help this movie. So all right, what do we got next? We got Lion King coming on the 19th of July.
Oh man, this one's gonna hurt.
I gave this
a 2.
I gave this a 4. I almost gave this a 5, but I'm more hyped for Skywalker than this. So I was like, I wouldn't give this a 5 then. If I give Skywalker a 5, I'm not giving this a 5. The reason for that is I feel like Sony's weight's behind this more than Aladdin. Like, I feel like this is the movie they've put their time into this year, and I don't know why they chose to release both in the same year. But
And
they
Dumbo.
and Dumbo, yeah. Sorry about that. But that's what I'm saying. Like, I think they overdid that, and this is the one they truly had their most interest in the whole time. So, I feel like I don't know. I'm just psyched for this, to see this movie in not live action. It's animated still, but in CG animation.
It's real life, like depictions.
Yes. But I think it looks awesome, and I love The Lion King, and I think it's going to be great to see. So I give this a 4. So Corey, what would you give it?
I'm giving it a 2. I love this movie as well, the original, and same with Aladdin. It's like, how can you top the animated film?
Yep.
I don't think you can here, and it just seems weird to see them in a realistic style.
Okay.
They're gonna talk in this realistic style. I don't know. I'm gonna have to see the movie. This is the hype meter. I'm just not hyped for this, but I could love this movie once I see it. I don't think that this movie not necessarily needs to exist, because I'm happy that it does, and it's bringing Lion King back into the forefront a little bit. But it's just weird to see the animation being like, not true to life, but based on real life.
Based on real life infections.
And I love Jeremy Irons as Scar. So, and they're not going to have some stuff that he does in the animated film in this one. And so,
okay. Okay. Tony, what do you give it?
I give it a 3.
Okay.
Just because, Lion King, loved it as a kid, brings back good memories and stuff like that. Not particularly excited for it, but it's not like I'm not looking forward to seeing it either with A-list. And then just looking at the rest of the list, it's like, it gets a higher number just based on. I'd rather see this than a lot of the other movies on the list.
Yeah. Okay. Once Upon a Time in Hollywood is coming up, and is this the last Tarantino movie? I thought it was.
It could be. You might say that, but
the way I read this news was this is his 9th film, and he only ever wanted to do 9, right?
Something like that.
Yeah. So for me, I gave this 2 based on the fact that this might be Tarantino's last movie. I thought it would be his last movie, so I just kind of more excited for that, to see how he goes out.
I'm really excited for this one.
So
I love Tarantino.
Yeah, I think the trailer's been great. So
I give it a 4.
Okay.
On my hype meter here, because it's Tarantino. I love Leo, and Brad Pitt is always a good. I think Brad Pitt's a really good like sidekick character, as we've seen in Ocean. Like, he can be like a great, supporting actor. Mm-hmm. And it's an interesting story. I think that that time in Hollywood is very fascinating, and I kind of want to see that Hollywood take on that time in Hollywood. So it definitely intrigues me a lot, and I'm really looking forward to seeing what this looks like, and what the full movie is going to bring us.
All right. Tony, what would you give it?
Yeah, I'm giving it a 2. I mean,
same level.
I'm curious, but I'm not really.
That's what. Yeah, I mean, I'm not like the biggest Tarantino film person, but I respect, like, this is his last movie. I want to see what he does with it. So, all right. We got Hobbs and Shaw coming after that on August 2nd. I give that a 1, not a 0. I thought about giving that a 0, but I give it a 1. Not looking forward to this that much, to be honest with you. Nothing to say.
And I love the Fast and Furious movies, as you guys know. I just think there's so much
but this is a side story.
To me.
It's a side story.
Exactly. And these are 2 characters that obviously were popular enough to spin off, and you put The Rock in anything, it's going to be popular.
Sure. What we give it?
So I'm going to give it my 7.
What?
I'm just really hyped for this movie. I think that it's going to be so much fun. And it's one of those things where it's just like, just throw it on. It's like, sit back and like turn your mind off and just have fun with it. That's what I'm looking forward to. And it's my most hyped movie of the second half of the year.
Wow. I am shocked. I'm shocked.
So. I also like Idris Alba is a villain here. Seems interesting too. I think it's so dumb as well. Like, it's one of those, it's like the plot is so dumb. These characters like really have no business being together, but that's the way the comedy comes from. So it just looks so much fun. That's why.
Yeah. All right, Tony.
What'd I give it?
2.
I gave it 2 because you know what? I don't care about Fast and Furious, but the trailers for this actually got me a little curious because, like, the first time I saw it, I was like, okay, Rock's pretty enjoyable. He's very charismatic, and what's Jason Statham?
Yeah,
he's interesting. He's got the same personality he always does in most of these movies, and I think that's an interesting
badass pretty boy.
Yeah. To like, I think it's an interesting dynamic. The good cop, bad cop, whatever you want to talk, buddy thing. So I was like, that's pretty interesting. And then, like you said, Idris Elba, love him. His character seems like so stereotypical, like cliche villain. Like, I love the part where he's like, "Look at me, I'm Black Superman." It's like, all right, you know what? I'm probably gonna A-list this.
Oh man.
And the thing, like you were saying, Jim, it's not Fast and the Furious movie. It's a Fast and Furious Presents. So, like, if you have something against Fast and Furious, you can't hold that against this.
I don't necessarily have anything against Fast and the Furious. I
think you do.
Yeah.
It just doesn't look like it's taking itself seriously at all.
It never does.
I can enjoy it,
It never does. Fast and Furious movies haven't taken themselves seriously since ever.
Really? Okay. Well, I don't know. At least
I don't think they took them. They may have taken themselves the most seriously
Fast
since
and the Furious is that it's just over the top, ridiculous action. I mean, it's superhero. They
become heist movies.
Superheroes.
They become heist movies.
Yeah, I guess. But like the thing is, like the whole I remember a couple ones ago where it was like Vin Diesel betrays like everybody or whatever. I was like, and they're trying to play like the dramatic angle. I was like, whatever. Like, I don't care about this shit. Like,
yeah.
I'm sure it was more than that, but like, the trailers were just like,
And the thing about the I like about this one is they can kind of like step away from the Paul Walker, Vin Diesel stuff and just like have fun with these characters that are just over the top.
Yeah. No, I agree.
All right. Moving on. It Chapter 2 coming out September 6th. I actually gave this a 2, despite the fact that it took me a long time to watch it. I enjoyed it quite a bit. So I did enjoy it a lot. So I'm looking forward to the sequel because I don't really know. This is where the story gets hazy for me. Like, I don't really remember the story for it. So it used to be fun to watch. So I'm looking forward to this a little bit more than normal. Like, I was going to give it a 1, but I'm like, no, it's a 2. But Corey, what'd you give it?
I'd give it a 3. It's one of those movies where, like, I want to see the conclusion for this because the first one, I loved the first one. It was fantastic. And this is, it is Chapter 2. And the miniseries, I definitely felt was not as good once the second half of it as much as the first.
Yeah.
But I do like seeing these characters grown up and I want to see how they, finish this story within this universe that they created here. Yeah. So I'm pretty interested in this one.
Okay.
And I like the actors they got for the adults as well.
Okay. Tony, give it a 1.
Yeah. I still have to see the first one. So
yeah. Okay.
I'm sure if I love the first one, I'd be more interested. I just haven't seen the first one.
Gemini.
Just as real quick, the first one reminds, obviously they leaned heavily on the Stranger Things, but it just reminds me of just a great summer, kids group film, like Sandlot type of thing, but it's just a horror instead. Those are just kind of dear to my heart, I guess, and so it really reminded me of those. And and obviously with the Stranger Things hype and stuff, it did really well. So I'd highly recommend it, Tony, if you are.
Okay, yeah.
All right, Gemini Man's next. That coming out October 4th. I gave that a 1, not a 0. Just, I don't know. I don't really have much interest in this whatsoever.
I don't even know what this is. So.
But I have less interest in my 0 than this one. So
Gemini Man is Will Smith.
Yeah.
Basically is an assassin.
This is by
also being a clone of Will Smith.
This is Ang Lee, right? This is Ang Lee.
Yeah. So and then it's also been in production forever. Someone's been people have been trying to make this forever. But they clone Will Smith because he's the perfect assassin, and then they raise that clone to kill him.
Okay.
and so it just looks ridiculous and in a bad way, not
in a bad way,
the purest way.
This could be a 0. I mean, this could be easily a 0.
Yeah.
Corey, what did you give it?
I gave it a 1. Also.
Okay. All right.
I do like Will Smith. I just think that this movie, I don't know, there's nothing interesting about it really. So,
Tony, what would you give it then?
I'm just giving it a 1.
Okay, saving the zeros while you're doing. Okay, all right. Let's see what we got next is Joker, October 4th. I gave this a 1. I think. Yes, I gave this a 1. I hope so. Whoops, my camera went early. Yes, not my 0 again, only because there will be a movie that gets that owns it, that deserves it. But
this movie deserves it, Jim.
It's close, and I know Corey, you gave it a 0. Go on.
Yes, I'm giving this a 0 because what the fuck are you doing, DC? Like, this movie could be fantastic. I don't give a shit though.
You have a Joker without Batman. Yeah, Joker without Batman.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
Tony, what would you give this one?
I'm giving it a 0 because I
Who
have.
would get the 0?
Yeah, the double 0. I don't know why this movie exists. Just like Corey was saying, like it's so dumb. Like who wants? And I think I said this when we first heard the news. I was like, who wants to see an origin movie about Joker? Like without Batman involved, like why would you ever want to see a Joker origin movie? Like it sounds on paper, I think it sounds dumb to begin with because it's like, okay, like I mean, I'm just trying to think. Would you want to see like the origin film for like?
Can I make my adjustment?
Go ahead, sure.
Like, I gave this a 1 because it might possibly be good, and so. But Corey's statement
about possibilities.
But Corey's statement is
how excited are you for this movie?
Yeah. Corey's statement is correct.
No excitement for this movie.
It's the exact same level. Like I'm at the exact same level you guys are at here, so I'm like, I probably should just give this my 0. I'm going to give this my 0.
Okay, that's fine. It's a triple 0.
It's a triple 0.
Is the loser among the rest of the year.
Oh my god!
It's just like Corey said, like it could actually be a great movie, but like from the concept, from seeing it, like the teasers, I just had no idea why this movie exists, what it's supposed to serve, like what gap is it filling?
What are you doing?
Right.
Like, what are you doing, DC?
Right.
There's no reason for this movie.
And, like,
that's the best way to say it.
Like, where do you go? Where do
the
you
best way
go
to say
from
it.
there?
There's
Right.
no reason for this movie.
Right. Like the thing is, like the angle where like they're trying to show him as like a disturbed, like he's just like a clown, and
This is
the killing joke.
Honestly, this is DC's Solo. I mean, this is DC Solo. Like,
yeah. Look, I'm just trying to think.
I don't even think it's DC Solo. I think Solo is better.
Listen, Corey, you made the statement before. This movie could be great, but what if it was just some other serial killer? Why did they have to make a Joker? Why, like Han Solo was a good movie if it wasn't Han Solo and Chewbacca.
The thing like that really gets me with this movie, like I was saying, like, okay, this movie's great. You did a good job. Now people want more of this, maybe, but what are you gonna do after this? And yeah, like you can do villain origin stories and be successful, like Maleficent or whatever. Like you can do that.
Yeah,
but
you could.
Not, but they're not changing the character like in any way that makes it interesting. They're just giving you
it's like
character that's like cosplaying the Joker is what it looks like.
This character is so heavily tied into Batman in his stories that you can't have this character without Batman.
Right.
He exists from Batman. They're the polar opposite characters.
Whole point, right?
That's the point of the villain.
Feed off of each other.
Yes,
like that's what they do.
Yes.
And like even like if he doesn't create them, he creates them by existing. Like Batman existing creates the Joker.
Yes.
Or he actually creates the Joker by throwing him in a
depending on the origins. But yes, I understand.
Exactly.
I'm not saying he creates them, but I'm saying like he exists
I
because
agree.
of Batman. They're the what is it? Yin and Yang of the Gotham world. Yeah. But
it's ridiculous.
All right.
Like, would you want to see an origin movie for like Bizarro or like the Red Skull?
Yeah. I just don't understand. I don't get it.
Yeah.
All right. What else we got next here? That was our zeros. 000. It deserves it. That's why I'm joining you guys on this train of 000s because like okay, so we're gonna get into it. But first up is Zombieland Double Tap. It comes out October 11th. I'm giving this a 3 because I very much love that first movie, and they're all back for this one. And I just even Bill Murray's back for this one. So
what? He's a zombie now?
He's making a cameo with Dan Aykroyd.
Nice.
Yeah, I don't know, but I'm psyched for this movie. So 3.
I've come to really like Woody Harrelson and stuff.
Yes.
I think he's been really good, and I can't argue when Emma Stone's in the film. So
no,
I give it a 3 as well.
Okay, Tony.
3. I really liked the first one. I think it was an awesome movie.
Yeah.
And it goes in a different direction than the stereotypical zombie stuff. And I think this came out kind of before like the huge zombie.
Yeah, it came out before Walking Dead kind of put zombies in this whole like next level echelon.
Yeah. So I'm looking forward to it. I would be more down on it if it wasn't everybody coming back for it. Like Jim said, like, that's the thing that's keeping it high for me. Even like 1 or 2 of them are like, nah, this sounds bad or like whatever. I would have been like, I'll see it, but I don't know if I'm hyped for it. But
Yeah.
everybody's back. I'm hyped.
And it
for
seems like it was a passion project for the guy too, because
we talked about this for years and years. I remember.
Exactly, and like he did Venom so he could make this movie. That was like his So like basically in his contract, he's like, I'll write Venom if I get to make Zombieland 2.
Oh, that's fine.
Venom died for this movie. So all right, let's see here. What's next? It's
there's another one where it's like what
Terminator. Terminator.
All right, Terminator.
Gave this a 1. Not very psyched for this at all. It is James Cameron, which gives it a 1. But I'm sorry, but I don't know, man. Terminator has not been good recently at all.
Gabriel Luna is really cool though.
He is a great guy, yeah. But and James Cameron's James Cameron, but
but he's not directing it. He's just producing.
So I don't think so, man. I don't think so.
It's hard to. You have to show me. You gotta like hey, you gotta prove it now because Terminator's been shit, and this is supposed to kind of like be the direct sequel to Terminator 2, Judgment Day. So they're kind of being like, well, all those were alternate realities or whatever. But I don't know. It seems like you got to prove it to me. So I give this a 2 because I do love Terminator, and Terminator 2 is like one of my favorite movies of all time. So I give it a 2 just because it's supposed to be a direct sequel. And Linda Hamilton is back.
She is. Tony, what did you get? Some 1?
Gave it a 1 just because I mean, like Corey said, Terminator 2's. Yeah, I think it made my number 1 action movie when we did the list because I think it's the quintessential action movie or whatever like that. But since then, it's all been like up and down, but mostly down. The ups have only been from the previous down or something like that. Where just like at this point, I'm like, you know what? You're just trying to make it work, and I think it's too late. Like at this point, I mean, how many times have like they kind of like rebooted the characters and the cast?
Yeah, that's the thing for me.
I can't keep track anymore.
I don't even know what timeline we're in.
That's what happens when you have time travel, man.
Yeah, I don't even know what timeline we're in.
That's why I hate it. That's why I hate it. Yeah. So like the movie might turn out really good, and if so, I'll see it. But like for hype, not 1.
Yeah. All right. Next up is my original 0, Charlie's Angels, which is November 1st as well. It's now a 1 for me because I gave my 0 out. This was my original 0. I have 0 interest in this movie, but Joker deserves a 0. This may be stupidly fun, I guess. That's why I was like, you know what? It could be whatever. If it's turn your brain off popcorn fun, maybe it's good, but I'm not expecting anything good from this movie. So anything else, Corey, to add to that?
No, I mean, again, this is one of those where you're just using a name because you have no better idea of what you want to do. So you're just going to use a name people have heard of before and make a movie out of it. I think the actors are kind of interesting that they got, but other than that, I don't care.
Yeah. Tony, same thing?
Yeah, I mean, whatever.
Yep. Frozen's after that, November 22nd. I'm giving this a 1 as well.
1?
Whoa.
Yeah. Hey, listen, despite the fact I expected to do gangbusters, I'm not like super hyped for this movie. I'm sorry, the trailer looked confusing to me. I have no idea what's going on. So I'm going to see it. There's no question in my mind, but I'm giving it a 1. So, okay. Corey?
I give Frozen 2 a 3. I think that obviously Frozen was fantastic, and I'm interested to see a little more of like it sounds like they're trying to give you an idea
my
of
problem with
why she's getting the powers.
But you forget about like Frozen. I felt like Frozen had not a villain problem. You didn't know who it was, like just a forced villain.
I mean, I didn't have a problem with that because I thought that the story was more about the 2 sisters, not necessarily an opponent. They trying to
I guess that's really what it was. Yeah, I guess
it was more about their relationship and how they struggle with that and losing their parents and things and becoming a leader and stuff. So that didn't bother me so much. I'm curious to see why she has powers. And and obviously we'll hear people singing Frozen 2 songs forever. So
yeah. Tony?
Yeah, you know what? I like Frozen. I like the animation style, and the main characters were all pretty cool. So give it a 4.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, and again, I think they did a neat job of that whole true love thing at the end, which was neat. So yeah, I'm curious about this one.
Yeah. Next up is Jumanji, which is not titled yet. the Welcome to the Jungle sequel, which will feature The Rock. The whole cast is coming back, I think.
That's what I heard, yeah.
December 13th for this movie. I'm giving it a 2.
Man, I love
I think I want to adjust this to a 3. Rehashing this, I want to give this to a 3. I like that first one.
Like, I mean, like not the first, like the Welcome to the Jungle. I thought that movie was fantastic, and The Rock and Kevin Hart are really a good combination, like a comedy combo. And then you get Karen Gillian, and she's obviously fantastic. So it's like you can't beat that. And Jack Black was really good at playing.
Jack Black was great. Yes.
Character
playing a 16-year-old girl.
Yeah, whatever, high school girl. So
whatever the girl was. Yeah, so he was actually really well done on that one. So I was shocked how good this movie was.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. It was like one of those things where it's like this movie has no business like being good at all, but it was really fun. It was like a fun film.
It was a video game movie too.
Yeah, and I love that about it too, where it's like I have weakness to bread, and it's like I can't eat bread, whatever. But then he eats bread, and it's like, oh shit, I died because I eat bread.
Yeah. So Tony, what did you give this one?
I gave it a 2. I still need to see the last one.
Oh man, it's so much fun.
I got to see it, but
it's so much fun.
You know, I'm interested in it.
Yeah,
I think you'd really like it because it is the video game. You know, they took Jumanji and turned it into the video game thing, and I think that they used the video game tropes of like NPCs.
Yes,
and
they did. They make fun of that too quite a bit.
Quests and stuff that you go on, like really well done, and like learning abilities and like things like that. It's really great.
Yeah. Okay. So. All right. Lastly is Skywalker, Rise of Skywalker. This is a 5 for me. It's the last of it's episode 9. Did not get my 7 because Spider-Man and after Endgame and after for me like not that after watching The Last Jedi for me was not as great as I was hoping. So I still give this a 5 though because like I can't wait to see what we have in store for us, especially with that Emperor laughter going on in the trailer. Like I think that actually helped my hype.
Really?
You know, looking at how we did Last Jedi and not watching trailers, I'm very happy I watched the last trailer because I feel like that helped me quite a bit. So I give this a 5. Corey?
I'm giving it a 5 also. I mean, it's the last film in the Star Wars Skywalker saga, I guess you could say. So I'm definitely really hyped for this. I'm not as hyped as I was for, Last Jedi, but at the same time, it's Star Wars, and you're going to get to see the finale, which we never thought we would. So
yes, yeah.
Hype-wise, yeah, it's definitely top tier.
Okay. Tony?
Yeah, same for me. Personally, like I'm probably less on the Star Wars franchise than you guys are. I think, at least for the movies, I think the expanded universe and all the different other forms of media have done a better job of cultivating.
So you're just hyped that they're getting this over with so they can get on.
Okay, you're right for the ending.
Corey, you read my mind because I'm just like, I need to get through this so we can get to the next series where it's just like, oh, look, we can actually meet characters that aren't related to like 40 years ago.
Yeah.
And just explore new plot lines and new stories and not have to be like, what happened to C-3PO? What happened to R2-D2? Like, who's Rey's dad? Like,
I always hated that fact.
I don't give a fuck.
Yeah. All right. Cool. And that's it. That's the whole list. So we distributed points here. If you're looking at just distributed points here, Corey's the most hyped for movies this season with 44 total points given out.
Games too. Like I definitely, I'm throwing my hype out there.
I guess.
Tony's at 36. I'm at 34. So I guess I'm least hyped. And I adjusted too. I was at 30. Well, I was at 33 originally. But let's see. Our most hyped is obviously it's Spider-Man. Not even close. Give it a 19. Which is clearly because of the Endgame carryover. But Rise of Skywalker got a 15 from us, which is respectable. As let's see what else did.
I mean, as far as like these movies that we just talked about, those are probably the 2 biggest ones left. I do think that like Frozen will do gangbusters.
Yeah, I'm not saying it's not
do really well.
Yeah.
But like, as far as like financially, I think those 2 movies are probably gonna be top 2 in these movies we listed.
I mean,
as well.
Shockingly, Hobbs and Shaw got our 3rd most hyped movie of this season. So I'm shocked. I really am.
I helped with that.
Yeah, you did. Yeah. So
I mean, I'm so excited for that film. I'm just so happy that they're gonna kind of like what you were saying with Star Wars. It's kind of branching off into this unit, keeping this universe, branching off with these other characters that we don't have to worry about this the family. You just have these fun characters that you don't really have much history with yet, and you've seen them in the movies as side characters, but now we kind of get to focus on them and have fun with them. So
yeah. All right. I think that's going to wrap up 451 of the Moviecast. Thanks for tuning in. You can write us, podcast at allycangeek.net. Follow us on Twitter, AllYourGeek. Like us on Facebook. If you're watching this on YouTube, hit that subscribe button. We appreciate it. Tune in next week for more topics coming up. Got a lot of stuff coming towards you. We got a lot of summer movies to talk about. So see you next week.
Comic-Con's not too far off, too.
Oh, that's true. Jesus. Coming up soon. Yeah.